everybody. Welcome to the new and improved, much more technically advanced version of the Rothfuss live stream. Thanks so much, everybody, for showing up. And we're going to hear how everybody in the chat, how the things look and how the things sound. Are you getting enough audio? Looks like I'm pretty low. How about this one? Yep, no, we're good. I got it. See, I am right now coming to you live from, I just swapped up, coming to you live from a city that I kept referring to as Pittsburgh, and it turns out it's Philadelphia. So that's where I am right now, is Philadelphia. And thank you so much for tuning in. We have like literally a crew of people. We brought a computer out. We've got like microphones and cameras, and this is so much, like we've got so much more going on here than I'm used to. So, hey, we hit 450. You would think that I would know what the current fundraiser is at, but I've kind of been running around like a chicken with my head cut off here. So thank you all for tuning in. Today, because we actually have technically apt people here running things, we have the opportunity to do some potentially fun stuff. But first, I want to welcome everybody new to the stream. Thanks for showing up. Second off, I would like to briefly cover our rules of conduct, which is try to be cool and like be aware that the main reason I'm streaming today is to raise awareness of the charity fundraiser that we're doing right now, which is Worldbuilders. We're raising money for Heifer International, and what we really want to do is sort of bring more eyes to the charity, because we're giving away like $170,000 worth of cool prizes, and if you donate like 20, 30 bucks, you can change a family's life forever, because that $20, $30, Heifer International comes in, they buy a family a flock of chickens, they educate them as to how to take care of the chickens, how to incubate the eggs, and so chickens lay eggs, and then little kids get protein in their diet, and then those chickens eat pests in the family garden, and crop yields increase, and also eggs turn into more chickens, and then those chickens lay eggs, and they can sell the eggs, and they make money that they can use to buy clothes and blankets and tin for their roofs. It seems so obvious once somebody lays out what Heifer International does. It's sort of like, hey, imagine food grew on trees, and then we gave people fruit trees, and they could just pick fruit off of them and eat it for the rest of their lives. It is that simple, but it's not necessarily easy, because it requires training, education, and infrastructure. That's why Worldbuilders, we're not trying to do this. We're trying to shine a light on this beautiful, successful charity that has existed for 65 years. And to date, we've raised about $8.5 million for them. To date, in this year's fundraiser, we're creeping up on $500,000. And I mean, not that I'm biased or anything, but I'd love to hit $500,000 before the weekend is over. And if you all could help us with that, that'd be great. That was a moderately cohesive pitch. And you know why? It's because I've actually had some coffee today. Sorry for those of you that have been tuning into the streams where I haven't had the coffee. While we're still warming up a little bit, I will do a very tiny amount of Q&A here in the stream. So if anybody has $30 also gets hives of bees, which do all sorts of wonderful things. They increase crop yields. They give cash crops of honey and wax. And also it increases the crop yields of everyone around the people. So much of what Heifer International does benefits an entire community and not just a family. So yeah, 30 bucks ducks. Yeah, I'm gonna drink more of this coffee. Why was the hotel on lockdown? I don't know for sure, but I'm assuming something set off a fire alarm. And my personal gut hunch is it was this new haircut was so sexy that that's a guess. That's just too hot for Philadelphia, if that's the city I'm actually in right now. How do I take my coffee? I take it like a drug. It is medicinal for the most part. Have I read Karl Knausgaard? No. And should I regret not having gone to PAX Unplugged? I mean, I don't really recommend regret as a life choice. You can if you want to, if that really brings something to your life. Instead, I would enjoy whatever your weekend is bringing you and watch the live streams. And especially if you don't like rubbing up against a lot of other humans, you can kind of get the con experience by playing D&D with your friends and watching some of the live streams. I will be doing Acquisitions Incorporated tonight, and there will be some cool stuff showcased there. So you might want to tune in for that. We'll be hosting it on this channel. Pat, I look thinner. No, I mean, you're saying to me, you look thinner. What have I done to lose weight? Apparently, if you leave your computer occasionally and walk your ass around the city, and you don't eat like you're a 16-year-old with the metabolism of Wolverine, if you stop that, you lose weight. It's groundbreaking research. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, trying to get some exercise and live like I want to see more than 50. What do we got? Favorite prize in the Worldbuilders lottery. You guys are lobbing me these beautiful softballs. Thank you so much. Right now, I'm really stoked about the Wormwood gaming table because I am here at PAX Unplugged, and I have just visited the Wormwood table. I have a relationship with this table, as many of you know from previous streams and the blogs I've written about it. If you've seen the video where I am talking about the table and all the while I am caressing it in sort of a loving, vaguely erotic way. So yeah, I feel I got to see my girlfriend here at PAX Unplugged, and that girlfriend is the Wormwood gaming table, the beautiful rosewood one that they have as a display. So yeah, that's the one I'm most excited about. Right now, for those of you that are new to the fundraiser, for every $10 you kick in, you get a chance to win like almost 6,000 prizes worth over $170,000. And one of those prizes is this beautiful $10,000 Geek gaming table delivered to your house with all the additions and everything. It's amazing that they've donated that to us. So go and check that out in the lottery. Go visit Wormwood and see the beautiful videos and pictures of that table, and then desire it deep in your heart of hearts, and then give money to the charity and make somebody's life better. You know, that's sort of the point of all this. Hi, Pat. You look very handsome. That's not a question, but I'm going to allow it. Favorite tip for revising and editing? Do it for at least 10 years. That's really, that's the rule I've been going by. It's a ton of fun, and everyone loves that you do it. What fundraising total for this year would make $10 million overall? It's about 1.4 something million if we get this year. I think we could do it. We're not yet at the end of the first week, and we're already at maybe $500,000. We're going to get some good media after this weekend, and tonight, hopefully, a bunch of the D&D geeks jump on board too. So I think it's achievable. We might do it. And I tell you, I'd add some cool stuff to the fundraiser if we hit 10 million. I would be immensely grateful to the community, and it would make me, it would make me really happy. More importantly, we keep a bunch of kids happy, healthy, and well fed. That's kind of the point of all this. Okay, I think I would happily do Q&A for ages, and those of you that have tuned into the stream before know that I will happily do that. But we're on for an hour and a half today. We only got an hour and a half, and I've chewed up 15 minutes of that with my mindless blather. So we've got other stuff we can do today. I would love to encourage people to jump into the stream. Oh, I have talking points here. We're not going to do a draw at the end of this stream. What we are going to do, we do additional prize draws if you donate to this particular team page for my Twitch stream. And there's a bunch of stretch goals and cool things and whatever. We're going to be doing a quadruple draw at the end of Monday's stream. So if you want to be in on that, all of those draws for all of those stretch goals and all those extra prizes, as well as all of the stretch goals that we'll unlock as we continue to make, more money on the team page, including things like you can get naming rights to a character in book 3. You can get cool tack sets. Eventually, I think I'm going to add one of the favor rings, where if you win that, I will owe you 1 favor, and then you can call that in whenever you like, and I will appear like a genie and do my best to actually give you what you have requested. Giving those out fills me with a vague existential dread, but it's for a good cause. So if you want a piece of that action, jump in, donate some money, make the world a better place, win cool shit. There's that. Oh, also, look what we have been starting to get back from the printer. You've seen the graphics. Now see the card in its actuality. It's this beautiful, thick paper. It feels like an old carnival ticket. These are available on the D&D team page. Everyone grants a different power. This is Rosie Beestinger's card. Where's mine? Where's Viari's card? Oh, here's Strix's card. I love this. Everyone's like, you can do this, and here's a cool power, and whatever. And Strix is like, can my one-off prize be just they get a pie? Yes, Strix. 1 pie of dubious providence. Viari's card. Here's a VI pass to the Jim Dark Magic show, all access, if you know what I mean. And dang it, I was flipping through these too quick and I lost Viari's card. Here we go. This is Viari's. If you're playing in your game and you are falling to your death or you just need a dramatic rescue, Viari is the man to call. I will provide 1 dramatic rescue. The romantic afterkiss is purely optional and consensual. You can win those in the D&D team page if you donate there. Tell your friends if they're big D&D geeks. We have cards from all the acquisitions people, all of Critical Role, all of the Adventure Zone, and a ton of the senior staff at Dungeons & Dragons itself. It is pretty cool, and it warms my heart knowing that all of these people have been willing to help us out and promote the fundraiser. Wow, I just said like a butt ton of words all in a row, and they kind of made sense. Is that making sense, chat? I look through the chat, and all I see is people talking about my haircut. Yeah, watch the Acquisition Incorporated game tonight here on this stream, hosted by us on this channel. And I'm just saying you might see some of these cards show up in the game. Also, I'm not saying that the people from my stream should also be over in the chat of the other stream constantly mentioning the fundraiser and talking about how cool it is and how people could win things if they donated. But I wouldn't mind if some of you did that, sort of went over and formed a chorus of charity-centered chatters. I've just mentioned that. That might be neat if any of you felt moved to do that. The end. I've just apparently run out of words. Should we try? Now, here's the thing. If this was a longer stream, I would sort of say I could play a game because, again, the technological setup here is so fucking space age. I can see through the side of this computer, and it's underlit like a real, cool car. It's like an alien spaceship. It's the last starfighter in this computer. And we have a VR setup. And I've never done VR. And apparently there's a game I could play. Do you want to see that? Would that be fun for you? Because I've never done VR. I've never played this game. I've never even seen this game. Should we do that first, or should we? I'm going to say we'll save that for later. We have an amazing special guest who I have not introduced yet. Would you like to come on here? So sorry to tease you and then give you something else, but also I'm Patrick Rothfuss, so you should be used to that. Let's go over. Should we bring a chair we could both sit on here and we could be in frame?
Sneak up on there. Hello.
Hello. Would you like to introduce yourself briefly to my people that don't know you?
Sure. Hi. I am singer, songwriter, creative type cat lady Sarah Donner, and I write songs and make videos and rescue cats. That's me in a nutshell.
I was wearing these earlier. And I was told they were very fetching, so let's try this out.
Add those. Nice. You should always wear them.
It is tempting.
Did they jingle?
Hey, everybody. Join us and charity it up while I am... last night somebody did refer to me. Now, to be fair, this was in a bar. It was late at night. It was at a convention, and ample drinks had been drinked. Mm-hmm. And she looked at me and she goes, "Oh, you're absolutely a man cat." And I'm like, "Whoa, I don't know what that means, but that sounds like a hell of a compliment."
Do you spray?
I wasn't going to go into it, but... and I don't also know what that means, but I'm just going to ride right over the top of it.
Okay.
You were going to maybe do some music for us? Because I'm really delighted at the thought of my people getting to hear some of your stuff in general, and like hearing it live is a special treat.
It's a special treat, especially after a long day of demoing and working on the floor, packed and plugged. It'll be special. Yeah.
Well, again, what the game you can bring here on your worst day, I constantly sing at these people, and so they are deeply wounded, on a psychological level, and your music will bring a soothing oil, a comforting balm to their poor damaged psyches.
Oh God, okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
no pressure. Can I turn over to? Okay,
sure.
Here we go.
Yeah. How much do you want me to do? What's my job here?
Do whatever makes you happy.
Okay.
In whatever fashion pleases you most, and my people will just be delighted to see it.
All right, we'll do a handful of some songs. I gotta put this mic down for a moment because I have to hold on to other things. Ukulele. Never had a real human microphone stand before, but
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you. All right.
Should I hold that?
Oh, yes. Oh, I have a human guitar stand, too. Whoa. Awesome. Hello. All right, so I've got a song about Settlers of Catan. Specifically, my downfall in every game, and it's called The Longest Road. I do have some lyrics to cheat on, because it's been a long day. All right, so you head to the hills and the forest, but still you're just building the longest road. And the mountains are far, but you know where you are when you're starting the longest road. yard. You're played out and it's so hard. Bricks and wood are what you need. A city sits inside your hand, and no one is on your land, and no one wants your stupid, I don't know if I can swear or not, no fucking sheep. And you won't settle in, wasting on settlements, 'cause you're building the longest road. And the points they could swing with a year of plenty. Just keep playing longest road. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. So roll the dice and make a trade, 'cause that's how you play the game. Lead yourself to victory. A robber sits upon your brain, but you don't need it anyway, and still nobody wants fucking sheep. And you're not one to fight, so you pass on the nights. Just keep building the longest road. It's unlikely you'll win, but you cannot give in. Just keep playing the longest road. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. So normally this is a sing-along, but if you want to type along, or maybe Pat wants to sing along, you just go, oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Everybody. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. One more time. Special building fee. And I wrote this on tour. Could it be metaphor? 995 is the longest road, and you're never alone when the road is your home. Just keep driving the longest road. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 yeah. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. That was lovely. Thank you for joining me.
Oh, Sarah, I'm gonna grab this mic
Yeah.
just to say this is my best stream ever. Just from that, this is now the best stream I've ever done, and your voice just makes my heart happy, and I am so full of delight right now. Thank you so much for coming on.
Delightful. I'm gonna sing a song about a cat.
Yeah.
Okay, here, straight
Okay.
off.
This?
Thank you, Rudy.
Oh, this is the first time in my life I've ever been used.
So this is a song, it's called The Flood, and let me regale you with a tale of Moby Shit. Have you heard about Moby Shit, the cat? This is a cat that flooded my house a couple years ago in New Jersey. Moby has no thumbs, but somehow managed to turn on the faucet in the bathroom, and it ran for about 5 hours while I was at work. And then I came back home to a flooded house, and it had like drained into the basement and had ruined some musical instruments. It was a really bad day. Bad day. I've never been so mad at a cat before. Anyways, so what do you do with an animal like that? Well, you adopt her. So she's she wasn't going to be anybody else's pet. So she's part of my life now. She's part of your life now, really. It's Michael's cat. So I did write her a song. It's called The Flood. You were only supposed to say just a little bit. What four walls could not contain you didn't fit. And you were not afraid of me, you would not submit. And the water that poured down the side. And the monster laughing inside. She's the talker of the talk. You're a white whale making waves that could sink a ship. You're a hurricane and brace for the biggest hit. And the water that poured down the side. And the monster laughing inside. She's a daughter I love, and she's mine.
It's so I expect a burst of applause, but I have a guitar in one hand. I can't do it.
I hear the applause in your heart. Fantastic. Shall I go on?
Could we do one more? Because like
Sure.
3 is a great number.
Yeah.
And then I wasn't planning on this, but like, can I come back in and can I talk with you about music a little bit?
Yes.
Cool. Okay.
Of course. Yes. All right. So I'm gonna play. This is the title track from my last record called Black Hole Heart, and it's about a anthropomorphic black hole. It's very dark. I swear I was never gonna make that joke again. It's really I don't know. I assume this book on here doesn't know.
You just keep falling into it.
It's hilarious.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh wow! The human mic stand.
You're so drawn to that
Clever.
joke.
On the horizon, where you could fall in time, slows down. Here in this cold space, you are a warm face I take down. I'm the one you cannot see. I show my love with gravity.
black hole swallowing you up.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
The message came in. We have an elaborate system of cards and notes being passed here, so we don't talk over the audio. But it was shown to me. It says, "Come into the frame," because everyone wants to see you grinning your ass off at this music. But maybe next time. Maybe next time I am. I'm so happy. So here's the question, right? I've got just 100 music questions now. Scoot over a little bit. First off, can I take voice lessons with you? Okay, I'm going to do that. I've wanted to do voice lessons for years because I have an okay voice, but I've lost all my range since I stopped like singing in choirs, and my control isn't what it used to be.
I went to a choir college, so
Really?
I did Westminster Choir College.
Wow. I did choir all through school, all through high school, and then I went to college and I took a choir class because I'd always been in some sort of choir, except the people who were in, what did they call it? It was oratorio, like.
Yes.
And apparently it's different than in high school where it's like you just like you go and you sign up because you're like, I like to sing, but in college that's not what's going on. And so I showed up and like it was a bit of a problem because I'm not real great at reading music.
Oh, it was like a high level
It was
choir. Yeah.
It was like a thing. And at one point I'm kind of like in there doing my best, like, and that's okay in high school choir. And I'm a fair mimic and I can pick stuff up. And at one point, like one of the other people sitting around me turns to me and goes, you're really not very good at this. And I'm like, oof. But also like I'm 18 years old and a white guy, so like nothing can touch me at that point in my life. And I'm like, I'm having a good time. And he goes, no, really, you're not very good. And I'm like, whoa. And truth is, like, he was there, like in his career track, probably like really trying to study this, trying to be part of whatever. It was like this dude is like kind of picking notes at random, sitting next to him, not making his life easy. But that was the last time I sang in a choir. But no, I've always, especially like getting to hang out with musicians now, and I go on the Joko cruise, and like, like sometimes I hang around these people, and I'm like, I'd like to be able to go on stage and maybe do a song in a non-embarrassing way. So, I would love that.
Musical theater.
I have just recently been like brought into the world of musical theater.
Come to the dark side. Come.
The only like Broadway musical I was dimly aware existed was such a huge part. Like my friends listened to music, and because I was always riding in their cars and staying at their houses, I didn't have a pick, so I didn't have a lot of musical agency or choice or whatever until like in high school, probably like sophomore, junior year. A friend came up to me and said, my sister listens to this, so I think you'd like it. And he played Parsley, Sage, Rosemary, and Thyme.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, this is amazing. I've never heard this before. Ran home to tell my mom. And I'm like, there's this great music you've never heard anything so awesome. And she goes, there's this song, and it's like parsley and she's like, oh, sweetie. And took me down in the basement and opened up the old dresser that was full of her vinyl.
Ooh.
And then so I listened to all her Simon and Garfunkel albums, but mixed in there was the original cast recording of Man of La Mancha. Which I can sing beginning to end.
Yeah.
Although really in my vocal range, I'm best at Dulcinea. Yeah.
You have a very rich speaking tone, so I could definitely hear that you would be.
Could you chisel something worthwhile out of this useless block of baritone marble?
Oh, it would be a beautiful.
Beautiful. Yeah. And actually, Dulcinea's song. I don't know if you've listened to Man of La Mancha.
I've seen it once and it was a while ago, so I'm not. super familiar with
it's
all of Men of La Mancha.
burned into my whole everything. I would sing the songs to my boys when they were little to like calm them down or put them to sleep. Dulcinea's it's her intro song, and she comes in and she sings, "One pair of arms is like another. I don't know why or who's to blame. I'll go with you or with your brother. It's all the same. It's all the same." And so I would sing this to my older boy when he was little, so he would go to sleep, because it's a very nice, it's in my range, it's beautiful melody, but it's a dark goddamn song.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of worried like what it might have nested into his subconscious.
What did you do to your children?
Yeah. But
Was that like your gateway musical?
oh yeah, that was the
Gateway drug?
only one that I listened to for ages until I went to see Hamilton.
So you went from Man of La Mancha to Hamilton? There's a lot of catching up.
I've seen Hamilton, Fun Home, and now Head Over Heels. Evan Hansen,
Can we
right?
talk about Dear Evan Hansen?
Let's talk
for a
about Dear
second?
Evan Hansen.
I got to see Dear Evan Hansen, and apparently it was the night where Beyonce was in the audience,
No.
which we didn't know that, but I found out later on Instagram that Beyonce had gone backstage, and so it was this amazing performance. Like, it was the best performance I'd ever seen on Broadway, and I thought like, oh, they're just. I mean, I'm sure they're all amazing, but I think that Beyonce being in the audience
Really gave it a
might
little
have had
extra.
something to do something. Yeah, and I got to see Ben Platt, and like, it's so good.
That was a heartbreaker.
Did you see Ben Platt?
Is he one of the? I don't
He's
do
Evan
names
Hansen.
real well. No, I think I got to it later. I didn't see
Yeah,
the originals.
He left in November.
Yeah.
December.
Yeah. I did catch the original cast for Hamlet though.
Oh.
Or
Hamilton?
Hamilton, yeah.
Oh,
That
see,
was,
I know.
that was
I
a little
saw-
bit of a joke for see. But yeah, I did catch the original cast with them.
Oh.
That was just a mind blower. A mind blower. Yeah. I guess I did see back in high school. I saw Phantom of the Opera too, if that counts.
Oh, yeah, it's like another gateway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I can sing Phantom of the Opera back and forth. I used to call my friend. I had a friend in 4th grade. Her name was Kristen, and we would call each other on the phone and just sing Phantom of the Opera back and forth. Back when you had like chords and stuff like that, and we would just like sit on our bed and go back and forth and singing Phantom of the Opera.
Oh.
It was like my bucket list. I was like, I'm gonna be Christine someday, and then I realized you have to be able to like do ballet.
Ooh.
Well, it's not happening.
Yeah.
Also, I'm not a soprano, so
Um.
crush dreams. All the dreams were crushed.
Well, I always wanted to. One of mine, the bucket list was I wanted to play Cyrano de Bergerac, like on stage.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, but like, could you imagine? It's like, oh, I just want to be Hamlet. I just want to, like, I can do that. I can jump in at like one of the hardest. I would also love to do like a Don Quixote, except like I'm not Don Quixote shaped. I'm Sancho shaped. And also like I'm a baritone and Don Quixote is not.
You just need to find a director with a really open mind.
Yeah. Well, hell, we could gender flip the whole thing and I could be Dulcinea. Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh, now I want to do that. We could do that. Let's make it. There's the
love
$1 million stretch goal, everyone. We're gonna like if we break 10 million this year, I will somehow arrange me and Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Wow.
I can't. That's a joke. That's a joke, everyone. I can't bring in Lin to anything. He's so busy. Which is not to say, hey Lin, if you're watching, you're certainly invited to come sing Man of La Mancha with me. I will be your Sancho Panza.
You should have a T-shirt that just says, I will be your Sancho.
I will be your Sancho. But what's your favorite, like, of all? Because you obviously like know so many more. I'm so unaware of what is out there that I've even missed.
I mean, I love Les Mis. That was probably my gateway drug. musical, and I'm a big music theater dork about Les Mis, and I prefer like Colm Wilkinson and whatever names. I know some names of people that I really love, but I think like deep down in my soul, The Secret Garden is actually my favorite musical. It's by Marsha Norman and Lucy Simon, but Mandy Patinkin played Uncle Archibald.
No.
Yeah.
Wow. Sarah read that to the boys, The Secret Garden.
I love that book.
Read the book. But I honestly didn't know there was a musical.
It's so good.
I'm now remembering I did see Rent.
Oh.
And I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Like, is that okay? Should I not have committed that to the internet?
No, I think that's okay. When did you see it? Did you see it?
I was a grown, really.
Was it like in the 90s in the heyday?
No.
No.
So it was like maybe 10 years ago.
Okay, so I don't know that it.
I was kind of like, why are these white people are sad that they can't stay in a building for free?
That's fair.
Is that a bad take on it? Also, the sound design wasn't great, so I had a hard time understanding a lot of the lyrics.
Oh, well, I think for where it was in its time, it was very relevant.
And
I don't know that it's still.
And that's what I hear is a lot of people are like, this is so important for me because I saw it in this moment.
Yes.
And I was sort of like, I too was once a 20-year-old white man and felt really entitled to a bunch of shit, but
I got my guitar.
I'm so sorry, everyone. If this musical is special to you, please don't let me ding that for you. But it didn't land close to my heart. You don't have to like Man of La Mancha either, but you should. What else? What else am I curious about? I just want to ask you a bunch of questions about music in general, because for me, I've always kind of, whatever you can do yourself is just like either at best your craft or at worst a chore, but if somebody else can do something that you can't, then it's magic. And I can't do music. And so
I can't write novels.
And you always, I don't know about you, but it's like, of course I want to be a musician, but I can't be, and so I write about it.
Yeah. I have some of your talent pipe.
Oh, really?
I called them like talent holes the other day, and I was like, that's not the right word. Where were they? Because I performed, I think, at Gen Con or something like that. So I have them. I forgot to bring them, but I was going to bring them. Anyways, thank you for my talent pipe.
I'm a bit of a fan. I won't lie about it. But so like, I want to ask you questions about like, because some of the joy of reading can come out of reading when you write professionally, because like sometimes I'm reading a novel and I'm like, oh, this is so good and I'm so into it, and then you're like, oh no, you've made sort of an unforced error in your novel and like you kind of dropped the ball here. It's easier to see if you spend 18 hours of your day thinking about storytelling. Do you end up with that a little bit, like with music, now that you are up to your elbows in it? And is it a little harder to really love as much of it as much?
Well, I think I like the performing aspect of it. So when I'm in like making sausage in the house and the cats are running away and they're like you know what I mean, I'm like, this isn't working. And because like I have a Patreon page and I try to put things out twice a month, and like I really depend on that income, so like I have to make a thing. And sometimes I don't think it's always the best thing, but it's a thing that I have to do. But it gets better the more you make the thing. I mean, for sure.
Well, I don't understand it very well, obviously. Could somebody drop a link to Sarah's Patreon in the chat here? I would love that.
Oh, thank you.
I do know what you're saying, and like that's how I learned a big chunk of my craft is when I had to write a humor column every year for the campus paper, or every year, once a year. I'll eat clockwork, everyone.
All your jokes.
All the jokes, a year's worth of jokes. It was every week, and I had to get it in by a certain time, and it wasn't always the best, but I did something, and even if it, I'm like, half of that was worth something. At least I'd written something half good. And it's easy to lose sight of that. like I like sing all the time. Like I sing in the shower, or I sing. Sorry for that image, everyone. And I like if I'm in the car, even if the radio isn't going, like I'll sing. Or people, sometimes I leave my mic open when I'm getting ready for a stream, and people hear me just singing as I like get ready for stuff. Even though this is sort of your jam, like do you still like just sing? Do you sing your own stuff?
No.
Okay,
No,
yeah, that struck me. That would be weird. Like if I read
No.
my own book all the time for fun.
Yeah, no, I don't sing my own stuff, but I make up a lot of like ditties, like just like, I don't know, I feel like I could have been a good jingle writer for commercials or stuff. Like I've done some podcast intros and stuff like that, and like those short little clips kind of come out of this, like crazy little things. Like I make stuff up. It's not, it doesn't see the light of day and no one's going to hear it, and it's not great, but I sing.
I'll do that to my boys, Yeah. I would like.
Are they like?
Oh no, they're still young enough that
they still love you.
Yeah, right. Hopefully, I've got at least one more year of that, and I, like they'll be doing something, and I'm like, I'll sing, a little song about, oh, I know you don't want to go to bed, but now is the time for children to go upstairs and start brushing their teeth.
Yes.
Or else there will be a terrible rage in the house, and Daddy will be so disappointed, or whatever,
Yeah.
or do the dishes, or now it is chore hour, and I'll sing little songs. I know I can't remember which pair of friends this was, but they had made the decision that whenever they were having an argument, they could only sing it to each other. They had to sing, right? And it struck me as brilliant, because it's like if you start to have a disagreement, then it sort of turns into a fight, and then you could not continue unless you were singing it, and it forced them out of one headspace. So it's really hard to be pissed at someone when you're singing to them.
Yeah.
And so it was really productive in that way. I imagine it's hard to enforce if both people really aren't on board for it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, like singing is such an emotional thing. Like if I'm in a highly charged emotional state, I can't sing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like somebody asked me to sing at a funeral once or something, or just like there's so much attachment because my instrument is inside of me. It's really difficult for me to sing and, keep composure. Or if I'm in an emotional state, like I don't want to sing.
I could see that almost being like I'm having like some real like epic fantasy moments in my head, like a person singing who actually does it professionally, and they're very emotional. It's like that's wandering into X-Men territory, like something really cool or something like really terrifying is going to happen.
That'd be fun. That'd be a fun mutant. I want to do that.
Here we got some questions in here. Oh yeah, I angered somebody. Sorry, Mattress. I fully respect your love of Rent as a musical. If anybody else has would like to jump in with a question about music, feel free. Otherwise, I feel like somebody just had a life realization. I need to get a cat. I don't know what that implies at all.
Get two, really. I also love Wicked. Wicked is I love Stephen Schwartz is my favorite composer.
I've never. I read the book. I know everyone was. What do you think of the book? We can be honest here.
I liked the book. I was a little disappointed that the musical it had a Disney ending, and it wasn't as dark as the book.
I liked some of the dark elements. I guess I was kind of going into it. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't quite what I got from the book. Mm-hmm. And everyone was so like, oh, Wicked, Wicked. I'm like, okay, bring it. And I'm like, oh, this is probably real good to people who haven't read 5,000 fantasy novels. It was kind of my thought.
Yes, I have not read 5,000 fantasy novels.
And I guess I don't know what I was expecting. Actually, it was maybe the fact that I backed into it because I read one of his later ones, and I was expecting it to be like real fantasy themed.
I read a couple of the other. I read the Snow White one. I don't remember what it was called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not everything is everybody's flavor. That's the rule. We have a question: lyrics or music first?
They both. Usually an inspiration first of I'm going to write a song about this, or this is what I'm in love with or angry about, or something that sort of charges me to go forward and be like, I need to write a song about this. And then usually I start noodling on the guitar and just trying to come up with a melody, and then sort of the lyrics kind of fall into the melody. So I can't just write lyrics. Like it turns into like Alanis Morissette territory where it just like the rhythm of the words don't really work in a song or anything. So yeah.
I could have guessed at the answer because it felt very similar to people saying, so do you build the world and then tell the story in it, or do you tell the story and then the world develops around it? And I'm like,
yeah.
Absolutely yes.
Yeah.
It is both. You start with both and you continue with both, and they're inextricably intertwined.
Yeah, you can't do one without the other one following along, otherwise it's not related anymore.
Do you write your songs emotionally and perform them calm? No. Good question.
Yeah. I mean, I'm never calm when I'm performing because I'm pretty anxious half the time. When I do get a fair bit of stage fright, and I've been doing it for a long time, but I'm always a little like, but I don't think I would perform a song if I didn't think I could kind of keep my composure. So I've done some darker things when I've had some losses in my life, and maybe been on the verge of tears, but that's pushing it for me.
I think it was Wordsworth who said, a poem is passionate emotion recollected in calmness or something. So like, it came from a place, but then you cool your shit off, and then you can write, iambic tetrameter or whatever.
Like the stuff that I write when I'm really emotional, I don't usually
echoes in the box.
Yeah, it's shut that book. No one's gonna see that. Yeah.
Oh, I have an entire folder of the unpublished blogs, the unpublished, half finished. Yes, I have feelings, and I will tell it you. I did not see the Man of La Mancha episode of Quantum Leap, which, although now I'm very curious. But what I wanted to say is, do you just make up songs, or like if you sing a song in the shower and it's, what song is it? Like what songs do you like to sing yourself that aren't yours? Or do you?
Yeah. I mean, when I'm feeling down or emotional, like I'll sit down at my piano and usually I'll grab some musical theater. I really do enjoy that, and it makes me feel better.
Oh,
for
cool.
Sure. Yeah.
I've been doing that with the Decemberists a bit.
Yeah.
Like if I'm having a bad day, there's a couple of songs that Colin Malloy's voice is fairly well in my range too. And so I sing some of that, and it does like just singing. There's got to be some sort of chemistry thing where it like pumps dopamine into my system.
Oh yeah, and I think there's a strong correlation between like breath control that you need to sing.
Oh.
And like meditation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I had never thought of that.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. You need to, like, if you're properly singing or, singing from a healthier place, you do need to take a lower, deeper breath from your diaphragm. And that is sort of meditative as well. And you kind of push it out, in a focused stream.
Yeah.
I think that's helpful. Yeah.
Dream duet partner. Who is your dream duet partner? I want person and song.
Person and song? Oh, gosh. I mean, Ben Platt. Dear Evan Hansen. I also really like Ben Folds. But dream song?
Yeah, who would you do it with, and what would it be?
That sounds naughty.
That's the nature of the stream, I'm afraid.
Oh, okay, great.
We
So-
should have briefed you for that.
Yeah, that's why when I stopped my song, I was like, "Can I swear?" And it's
That
like,
was very considerate. I usually show up on a podcast, cuss like a sailor with a broken leg,
Oh.
and then afterwards be like, "Oh, was that okay?"
Yeah.
Your way's much better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if it was like an NPR kind of thing or. I have probably a duet from Dear Evan Hansen is what comes off the top of my head. If I was gonna sing with Ben Platt, yeah.
I would sing. It would be. So, I was thinking it'd be so much fun to sing with Lin-Manuel, except I would be terrified. I would think it was so cool up to like half an hour beforehand, and then I would just like have just a fear vomit.
Yeah. Oh, I got it.
Okay.
I would sing Suddenly Seymour
Ooh,
with Ben Platt. That was my dream
Ooh,
duet right there.
good choice.
Yeah.
For me, God, what would I sing with Lynn? We could sing the duet like Don Quixote and Sancho from Man of La Mancha, but like I would have to be Sancho,
Yeah.
and Sancho is a straight up tenor,
Yeah.
and so I would make a mess of that.
You should sing Lily's Eyes. I know you don't know The Secret Garden, but Lily's Eyes from Secret Garden. I don't know. Yeah. Check it out sometime.
Okay.
It is a fantastic male duet. My top 5 for sure.
Does Dear Theodosia count as a duet?
Yeah.
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 I would do that one with Lynn.
Oh, yeah.
That'd
That's
be
so
fun.
beautiful.
That would be fun. I
That's
would
really
just like
beautiful.
to sing a song with Lynn because like I get to cross that off my bucket list.
Come on, Lynn.
So have I ever synced with somebody else's brainwave? I'm afraid I don't know if that's a reference. Is that about the drugs? Are you on the drugs stream?
The Dragas.
The theme from The Last Unicorn was a duet. That's a
It's been a while since I've seen that.
I think America wrote all the music for that back in the day. Was it America? Was it Kansas? It was one of those early kind of soft rock bands. Do I spice? Also, I'm suspecting this is a drug reference. It is a Saturday night stream with all of the attendant. Pat and Lynn are drift compatible. Am I having a stroke?
Maybe it's
none of these questions.
Is that a Fast and Furious reference? So you could just like drift behind him or something?
I would assume.
That's all I know about drifting.
Yeah. I don't. Now here's the thing. First off, I want to know how the fundraiser is doing. Can somebody peek on there and let us know? By the way, this is to promote the end of the year Worldbuilders fundraiser. We are raising money for Heifer International, which provides training, tools, and materials for people all over the world, including here in the U.S. And it helps people sustainably improve their lives and have control over their own income and their own food supply, which is a huge deal. Odds are, if you're watching this on a live stream on a computer, you have never had to deal with like waking up hungry and wondering where your food is going to come from, or even worse, being a parent who doesn't know how they're going to feed their kids. Heifer International goes in and fixes this problem for real, forever. If you donate, say, $120, Heifer goes in and teaches a family how to care for a goat, and how to build a pen for a goat, and how to milk a goat, and how to breed a goat, and how to take care of a goat. And then, see, they do all that first, and then they give the family a goat, and the goat produces about a gallon of milk a day, and the kids get to drink the milk, a bunch of protein, a bunch of calcium. They can sell the extra milk, and it's an income stream for the family. Mm-hmm. And then the goat gives birth to more goats, and then you have a bunch of goats, and then suddenly the family has a sustainable food source, sustainable income, and their lives are better forever. And a lot of times that means the family then has access to medicine or better clothes or fees for school, or like they just get to have a good life. And it's a one-time fix. It's not this for the price of a cup of coffee every day. You are now chained to someone in a third world country. And if you ever stop giving them that money, that child will starve. I've hated that model. This is you come in, you give the money, and you fix somebody's life forever. This is why geeks love this charity. It's an amazing, sustainable fix to a real complicated problem, and nobody does it better than Heifer. They work with the local ecology. They work with the local culture. They're so smart about it. I would not be backing this charity if it was not A+. This is also one of the ones that Bill Gates shovels money into. And Bill Gates, you know, for all that he might have some dubious business practices, dude is not an idiot, right? So come on in. The charity's fine. Make the world a better place. Also win a bunch of cool stuff.
Do it. I just want to say that, like, I used to do like Secret Santa things with my college friends, and after a while, it's like once, you know, we were out of college and maybe had a little extra income, I was like, shouldn't we be giving to somebody else instead of buying stupid shit for each other? And so we would do Heifer International, and so
Really?
yeah, I've bought some goats collectively with other people, but it's a really great organization, and they do seem to have it together.
Here we go.
And I've also done that like $1 a day thing. I used to do a thing with Compassion International. I was like, this is your child, and I was like, anyways, I like Heifer International, so
we're not necessarily here to bag on other charities.
No,
but there's a reason I've picked this one.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And one of the best things about Heifer is when they go in, they teach someone about these animals and how to feed them and how to care for them. Then a big part of Heifer International and what makes it takes it from an A+ to like an incomparably good charity is that Heifer, as part of giving these people help, they agree to then pass on this gift to other people in their community. And so after these people's lives are better and the goat has more baby goats, and then eventually that family goes to a neighbor and says, here's how to take, and teaches them everything, and then gives them a goat. And then that person does the same. And this goes on and on. It happens with chickens. It happens with pigs. It happens with heifers. And so it's like, I always refer to it as an avalanche of good moving endlessly into the future. And there are parts of the world where this has continued through generations and generations. Here's the fun fact. After the Korean War, Heifer went in to help out people the whole country was just destroyed. Heifer went in with chickens, and now 80% of all chickens in Korea are descended from Heifer International chickens, right?
that is the fact of the stream.
Yeah, and
That's
so
amazing.
like that is what you can be involved in now. Not only will it help people soon, it will help more and more people as time goes on. So really give it a think. If you've never had to beg for food or wake up hungry and go to bed hungry, maybe you can find a little extra jingle in your pocket and put it towards a good cause, and I guarantee you will feel real good. That's part of the reason I do this. This is my favorite time of year because I got a mood disorder, and sometimes I feel real bad even though my life is real good, and then I help somebody else out, and then suddenly everything seems a little better.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's great.
So right now it looks like we've made a couple of $1,000s since the stream fired up. I would encourage y'all spread the word. If you've already chipped in, I really appreciate it. But if you're strapped, like, don't put yourselves out. Don't put yourselves in a bad place. But maybe head out, help spread the word about the streams, spread the word about the charity. Talk to a human being in the meat world. Also a very good way to spread the word about the charity if you're interested in helping out but you're strapped for cash. I feel like I teased them with the VR thing. I could talk to you for hours.
Yeah, no, you do you.
I should
kinda wanna see it, too.
I should do it.
Yeah.
I'm curious, although it's going to be a train wreck, folks. I'm going to do some VR now. I'm going to take off. Thank you again, Sarah.
You're welcome. Thank you, Pat. Thanks. Twitch. You guys. Thanks. Okay. I'm going to head out.
Okay, so we're going to try a VR game. I have never seen it. I've never done VR. So let's give this a go. We didn't talk about it beforehand. Can I thank you by name?
Yeah, sure.
Everyone, this is Josh. He set up the computer. He's been making everything work. Yes. And so he's going to introduce me to this fabulous world of VR. This. Okay. Okay.
Take a step to about right here.
Okay.
All right.
There we
Go
go.
ahead and pop this on your head. Pull back to adjust it.
Okay. Huge head. Whoa. Oh boy.
Kind of move it around so it looks real clear for you.
Yeah, that's super clear.
All right. We're gonna cut to some screen capture.
Whoa, diagonals. No. Which one do you want?
Check. Oh, hey, we've got audio now.
So much audio.
It's super good.
All right, so I'm sorry about that little audio spike, but you guys can hear him first and foremost.
Oh man. How about if I go, okay, let's turn that down one notch. Let's just try hard. I'm the best. No. Oh, guys, for like 8 seconds, I was actually cool there. What time do we have? Are we towards the end of? Are we getting close on 6:30? Hey, it is a little weird. Normally, it feels like when I'm watching the chat, I'm sort of like there and we're all in the same room and you're talking to me. And I realize now I keep forgetting that I'm kind of on a stream and I'm just playing a video game because I can't hear you guys talking in my head like I normally do. Let's see. I do like this one. I'm going to try one more time. No! Boy, crossing the arms is something I'm not ready for yet. I want to try that one. Actually, knowing the beat of the music is surprisingly helpful. No, I got the arms backwards again. Okay. That feels so dangerous. They're weapons. I keep trying to grab the fake illusory handles.
Grab your eye mask.
Okay.
Right off.
Oh no, everyone was watching that whole time. Oh no, the whole internet was watching all that time. Okay, guys, I'm not saying I'm going to get a VR setup, but I could. It's, what the people want is not always what is good for me. Although I think that does technically count as a certain amount of cardio for the day. Or I don't know what it says about me that playing a VR game actually makes me to work up a sweat. Guys, thanks so much for showing up today. Everyone, Josh, thank you. Sarah, thank you. This has been a ton of fun. I'm so glad you showed up. We are going to be hosting the Acquisitions live stream. It's me and a bunch of other geeks playing some D&D on stage. It is about 1 part D&D, 3 parts improv comedy. And so even if you're not a gamer, it can be fun to watch. This is the first session where we have a new dungeon master. After 10 years with Chris Perkins, he has yielded the stage to Jeremy Crawford, another one of the bigwigs at Dungeons and Dragons, who will be coming in and probably putting us firmly in our place. So feel free to show up and give that a watch too. It might be worth a chuckle or two. Wander over to the donation page, kick in some money. For every $10, you get a chance to win all the regular prizes. And if you donate on this team page, we're going to be doing like 8, 9, 10 drawings come Monday, and you're eligible for those if you donate now. This is going to be a big prize draw on Monday, and all the prize draws following that, but it's only if you get in your donation soon. The way to game this system is to donate early, and the sooner you donate, the more stuff you'll be eligible to win. Thanks again so much for showing up, and this is gonna play me out. This is my most professional stream ever. Anyone, I have somebody playing me off. Thanks so much for showing up. Thank you for everything. Thank you, Sarah Donner. This is my radio voice. This is Patrick Rothfuss signing off. Don't forget to tip your waitress.